This is Alan Can. I help organizations to deliver better quality software-driven innovations more quickly and more cost-effectively.
Today I'm going to show you how you can get a copy of my Java application and deploy that application onto the Bluemix environment. Bluemix is IBM's platform as a service on which you can run anything from Java application to Node.js, PHP, etc. If you haven't registered on Bluemix, the address for Bluemix is www.bluemix.net. You will also need an account on Bluemix DevOps Services, and the quickest way to get there is this address here, https://hub.jes.net. Let me start by logging into IBM Bluemix DevOps Services. So go log in, and I'll use my username and password. Once you have logged into Bluemix DevOps Services, you can go to explore some projects that are on DevOps Services. If you want to find my project, it is at Alan Can pipe ureceipt. So the name of the project is ureceipt. Go into ureceipt. In order to get a copy of the project, simply click on Fork Project. And then you can give a name to the project. So this fork project effectively gives you a copy of the code, source code. I call it ureceipt test. You probably don't need a private project if you're just playing with the source code. Private project means no one else can see the source code that you're editing, except for people that you invite to the project. We'll keep the features for Scrum development because the next few videos will show you how we can run an Agile project using the Scrum features on DevOps Services. And we'll make this a Bluemix project. So Bluemix will be the platform that we deploy the application to. Now once you've created your project, you will be brought to your own project. So this will be your username, and then the project name will be what you have entered. The next part that we would like to edit is the build and deploy pipeline. So let's go to the build and deploy. That allows us to build an automated build and deployment pipeline to Bluemix. Now this application is a Java application with a MySQL backend. So we will have to make sure that we cater for these services. So we'll add a new stage. I'll call it just test environment. Now we don't have to change the input here. All we need to do is to add the DevOps Services password for your account. And then the next bit we need to do is to add a new job. So the first job we need to add is a build job. Keep the name as build. Instead of simple, we'll use an end script which allows us to edit the build archive directory, and we'll call it ureceipt. That is hard-coded in my configuration files. And also we'll enable some tests. There are some unit testing that was created in the script. So we'll enable those, and then we'll add a second step or a second job to this stage, and it is deploying. Now the deploy job, again, we don't have to change most of these settings. they have already been selected for you. What you need to change though is the deployment script. Now we mentioned that we have to cater for the new service, that is MySQL. So in this script, we will use the CF command line to create a MySQL database using the free plan and call the database MySQL-N6. And then we'll push the application onto the Bluemix platform using receipt test as a route to access. So our URL will become receipttest.mybluemix.net. And then finally, we've got to bind the service together with the application. So we'll go bind service and then the name of the application as well as MySQL N6. So we're binding the instance of the application to the instance of the service, the database service that it uses. Right. Now we've finished editing all the build automation. Let's save that for now. So we've created a stage for deploying to the test environment. If we need to deploy it to a staging and then a production environment, you can add more stages to it. But for now, we'll just keep using the test environment. The next bit that we want to do is to go back to the edit code. Next step is to go to the change section, the triangle, and we'll check in all the changes. This delivery will automatically kick off the build and deploy at the delivery pipeline. So you can see that the build is automatically running. And if we go into the logs, you can see the execution status in real time. So it grabbed the information from the JS SCM, which is where we stored the source code, and then it created a build. The build was successful. This is the build log. The build was successful. It also ran some unit tests as we specified in our steps, and then now it went on and is deploying the application. So you can see the log getting updated in real time. At the moment it is trying to create the application. So it has already completed creating the service of the MySQL database, and then it pushed the application, and it's creating the URL. So you can see what's going on in real time. Now the first time you run this deployment is going to take a couple of minutes because it needs to create everything from scratch. If we go back to configuring the test environment, or the build script for the test environment, you will notice that in the deployment script, we say we'll create the service and then we'll push the application. So what happens when you have already got MySQL, let's say it is the second time or the third time you run the same thing. Cloud Foundry create service, it sees the exact same database already on Bluemix, then it will skip that step. So it won't create a second database. It will still push a new version of the application, and it will also skip the binding when the binding is already there. So let's go back to see the result. And it's next step is we can go to the URL, new receipt test.mybluemix.net, and you should see the application up and running. I don't see it up and running because I made a typo earlier on. Instead of new receipt, I've typed receipt test, which is okay. Now, this is a very simple application where you can enter details of receipt, you can enter the date, some description, category of the expense, how much the expense is, and whether you can claim that expense from your company or not. Submit it, and it will bring you to the view receipts page where it lists everything in the database. So it's a fairly simple application. Now this concludes the first part of this series of videos. The next video will show you how you can use Bluemix DevOps Services to track and plan your Agile projects. Thank you for watching.